Hello, this is Magina, and I'm coming to you from the beautiful state of Connecticut, where I live with my husband and my three children. And today I'm filming for you a video about, let me grab it, this little sewing machine. I grab it off Amazon, and today we're gonna see does can this solve my issue with sewing the lining for my crochet bag. So if you watch my very first video, you will see where I showed you this. This is my watermelon bag. I made this last summer because hey, watermelon is summer and I wanted a watermelon bag. It is made all out of acrylic. This is all Red Heart Super Saver, and the handle, I believe I got them on Amazon because I wanted my bag to be sturdy and functional. So yes, it's all made with Red Heart Super Saver. Like I said, I added the beads and I embroidered the watermelon seeds. So love the bag. I even had somebody asking me to sell them the bag. The only thing, because of the inside, I was not comfortable selling it to anyone. And this is why I was online looking for a sewing machine or something to help me solve my sewing issue, because the bag is lined up and making the bag was not a problem. What was the problem? Sewing the lining. I even would ask my mom to help me out. She did help me. She helped me cut it, and the side that my mom sewed, s- they actually look pretty decent, right? But let me show you the side that I did, okay? And then to make things more complicated, because it wasn't complicated enough, right? I had to challenge myself. I decided to do a pocket. Don't know anything about how to make a pocket. But watch a couple of YouTube. I actually did make the pocket, but still, the sewing itself. Look at this. This is horrible, okay? And the pocket is horrible too, but it's on the inside. Anyway, this looks like Frankenstein himself sewed this bag. Okay, so this is why I could not sell it to my friend who asked me, and I said to her, I will make you another one, but I need to solve this whole lining issue. Because I don't have the patience. I could learn how to sew, but I just don't have the patience. And looking at the sewing machine online, they were quite expensive. I even went to my local Walmart to see if I could see, a small, like a child size one. Even there were none, and the one that were there was about $300 and up, which I don't need. I only need the machine to see if I can sew the lining. And then I'll have to learn how to use a sewing machine. So that's a whole different set of skills. That's another craft altogether. And I do not have time to learn new skills and a new craft either, right? So that's why I was online looking for this little machine to see if there was any other alternative. And I found this machine. So I'm going to give it a good try to see if indeed that little machine can help me solve my sewing issue. If that works, that will be a time saver for me. I won't have to worry about sewing by hand, and I don't have to worry about ugly stitching on the inside of my bag. I can be comfortable listing them on my Etsy shop because it will look professional. So let's meet up at my kitchen table as I'm gonna open the little machine and see if I can figure out how to use it. Okay? So see you at
To
the table.
take a look at this little sewing machine. We're gonna go ahead and open it to see what comes in it. Now I'm a total beginner. I don't know anything about sewing with a machine, so this is all new to me. So first off, we have this little bag here with all kind of little gadgets in here. I see a measuring tape, some bobbins with different colors, and some safety pin. Okay, so that's that. We'll put that on the side. And then the machine itself comes in nicely wrapped up. Okay, really good. Sorry for the crinkle if you hear any. Oh, they even have a bobbin already thread for you. Don't know what that button is, but we'll find out soon enough. And I guess they're showing you what it can do. Okay, all right. Okay, there is a plug. Yeah, it did say that the machine has two-way power. You can use USB or you can use four double A batteries. So that's the USB plug in here. So I like that option. And it comes with two speeds, with which I'm guessing those are those little dots here. And there's an on and off button. Okay. And the rest of the instructions are here, so let's put that on the side. So again, this is what the box looks like. Okay, I am back, and for you it's just a few minutes later. For me it's been almost 30 minutes. Those instructions, let's start by them. They were as clear as mud. First of all, they were so tiny I could not read them. I could not understand the diagram because I can't see. Were there, but trying to read this tiny little instruction and understanding, even putting the battery was a nightmare. I finally figured that out. So what I did, I ended up looking for a YouTube tutorial. There is a YouTube, thank God for YouTube. Someone actually has a machine that was very similar to that, and she demonstrated how to put it together. Watching the lady, I was able to finish because there were a couple of pieces hanging out here. I didn't know what they were, and apparently they were supposed to be in here, like here. This piece was, oh, see, it just went out again. Where did it go now? It's a little piece of, oh, hold on, now I gotta go find it. I went to the other side. So when the machine first came, this was just hanging out here. So, and I don't know why it was, but according to the instruction or the video that the lady showed, it's supposed to be part of this. So you've got the bobbin, and again, this is not a tutorial because as you can see, as you can tell, I do not know what I'm doing. So just bear with me here. And then it looks like this piece was over here. Was this threaded to it? I don't remember. I'm just gonna snap it back and well, because that's why I saw her doing. If it's not right, we'll have to do it again. Okay. So that's supposed to move freely, and that's your bobbin. If any of you watching this video knows how to sew, this is probably child play to you. But if you don't know anything at all, that can be really something. So I'm just winding it back by hand because I don't know how else to put it back. Okay, just pull it over here. Okay. After watching this video, I'm gonna be linking it. So, all right. So this is what my project is. I made this little bag, granny square bag, and I used the granny all-in-one granny yarn. Remember the pretty yarn that I picked a while ago when Joanne was still a thing. So that's what I made this bag with. And my plan is to line it up. So I figured this is my first experience. Let's start small, right? And my plan is to line it up with this beautiful fabric. It's very pretty. It's like a honey or honeycomb fabric. I thought it would look pretty inside this bag and it'll match perfectly with the yellow. Okay, so push your on button, and I'm gonna go with the lowest speed, which is that one little dot there. Okay, wait. I think you use your left hand if you're a right-handed person, and then so it's gonna go this that. Excuse me. The lady suggested that you keep sewing until you pass this point, to secure it a little bit more. Turn it off. Make sure everything is locked. Last thing I want is one fingers to go missing with this experience. Okay. And then now I'm gonna take it off the machine. All right, so this is how my little pouch is looking so far. Um, still did something on the side, but yeah, the fabric is so pretty. All right, so now we're gonna put it inside our bag, and so that's what I was saying. You don't see anything, any of my bad stitching on the outside, and this would have taken me at least an hour just to do the two sides. So if it wasn't for fumbling with the machine, this can be really a big step in speeding up my process. Okay, so I'm going to put it inside my bag now, right? Hopefully my measurements were correct. Let's bring it in. Okay, now looks like a tiny bit too big, but there we go. Okay, so that's the next test for the machine. Can the machine handle stitching through both crochet stitch and fabric? So I'm gonna go ahead and pin everything and then see if I can stitch it. I got my bag lined up, pinned down as best as I can. Probably next time I will not put the handle first because they're getting on the way. All right, let's. Okay, so did you have fun watching me struggle with this little thing? I certainly did. It was a learning curve for me to watch a couple of videos, just learning how to use the machine. But anyway, back to the question of this video. Did this machine work? Am I going to be able to use it to sew up the lining to my bag? And the answer is yes and no. The machine itself, it's very functional. Okay, I really like it. It's small, lightweight, and you can use battery and everything else with it. So I was when it came to just lining, to just fabric, this just does the job. Okay, because I was able to make, and I'm going to show it to you, I was able to make the lining for the bag. Okay, this is what the lining looked like, and the stitching, it's not bad. I mean, to a complete amateur like me, this is fine. Okay, this is enough. This is on the inside, and if I turn it on the other way, it's actually even looking better. Let's show you here. So I was able to make the little pouch just fine. Okay, the fabric glide through. I mean, this machine will not be a good choice if you have hand mobility issue, if you have fine motor issue, because you do have to hold the machine while you're moving the fabric. It's gonna work. But if your hands are fine and you're able to handle the little machine and the fabric, then this is perfectly fine. So yeah, I was able to make my little pouch perfectly fine. The machine worked okay for that. The problem with the machine, and that's why I say no, it's not going to solve my issue, is when I attempted to put the to sew together the lining, this pouch here, to with my actual project, that's where the problem began. So, and the reason is, I'm going to show it to you.
I don't know if you can see that, but if you don't see, I'll take a picture of it. Is those little teeth. So inside the machine right here, there are those little teeth. Okay. I think the purpose of having them right there where you put the fabric is to kind of hold your fabric in place. It's an extra thing, to kind of grab your fabric. Well, that doesn't work for yarn. Okay. And the reason it doesn't work because yarns are little fibers plied together. And when I was trying to, the machine can handle both. The fabric and the yarn together. That wasn't the issue. I'm able to fit it just nicely. But when the sewing began, trying to move the two of them through the machine was a problem because the yarn was being held back by those tiny little teeth. That's what I call them. Okay. And as I trying to struggle with it, you can see it caused some damage to the yarn. See, this is where part of the yarn got cut off by those little things. They're not extremely sharp, but enough to break my yarn down. So I got this damage here. So the more I pull, the more it held on to it. So yeah, right here you can see. So the machine is good, but yarn cannot move through it because if those area were gone, if it was flat, smooth, and I don't know if it's usual to have that in a sewing machine or if this little machine had it just to give you extra stability since it's so small. But yeah, that became a problem, and yeah, it will take your stitches out and damage your yarn if you try to use it for the purpose I bought it for. So yeah, I am back to my search for a solution to lining. I'm gonna either learn how to sew things by hands properly, but the machine will help me because at least the making the pouch, the inside will be easier. Putting it together with the crochet is the part that I'm still gonna have to struggle with until I can figure something out better. And to show that the machine can actually work, I made this. Now, if you're a quilter, you know what that is. This is the four patch quilt. I think there's a name it. It's a four patch quilt. If it's not correct, please correct me below. But yeah, I was able, even with no quilting skill at all, make a four patch. I mean, they're not equally. I wasn't trying to make them perfect. I was just trying to see to show you that yeah, the machine can stitch and stitching with fabric is fine. So I was able to make this with it. That's a look I always like. It's fine. For sewing, if you have small mending job, maybe pockets you need to fix into something, you need to hem your pants, this is gonna be fine. But if you're trying to do like me, use it for lining your crochet, that's a big no. It's not going to work. It's going to damage the fiber of the yarn because it will hang on to it and you'll have trouble moving it through it. So that is my review of this little machine. I hope you had a good time laughing with me about my struggling with it and that, hey, it was an experiment. It didn't work. So, like I said, I will continue searching for a solution to my lining, or I'm gonna have to learn how to hand stitch them properly. So anyway, it's Magina from the state of Connecticut. I love all of you. May you have a blessed day. Bye bye.